Scorpio, that dark, mysterious figure in the shadows. Scorpio is a sign ruled by energetic Mars and destructive Pluto. One of the traits that will stem from this combination is a daring person in Scorpio, from young ages too. This daring is not the same as the other Mars-ruled sign in Aries, where Aries is charging around head first and thinking later. With Scorpio, it's coming across scary or mysterious things and having an inclination to see what's in the dark. Experience it, reveal it, so to speak. It could be a bunch of you as kids, playing in a forest, and you lot stumble across this dark, gloomy cave. Naturally, the Scorpio is going to be tempted to go in there. Now, not every Scorpio will actually go in, but it's in the nature of the sign to discover. So say all the kids run off scared, a Scorpio can still be standing there feeling a strong sense of going in. Scenarios like this is obviously extremely dangerous for the Scorpio, especially young Scorpios, but it's also necessary for their growth. The darkest thing about Scorpio is they need these experiences to sort of die and become a new improved version of themselves. And this daring, this compulsiveness can involve anything. This alone is how many Scorpios can gain a bad reputation from young, because things that will scare the typical kid will intrigue the growing Scorpio. John Gotti, Cray twins, these people can easily be born in Scorpio. All this is what makes Scorpios mature way before their age, verbally and in their actions. Scorpio is associated with Hades, the god of the underworld, and Aries, the god of war, and Orion, the giant huntsman. So your typical Scorpio won't be afraid of darkness or any form of battles. This compulsiveness with Scorpio never ends. As they grow and become stronger and wiser, the only thing that changes is the control they have of themselves, not the actual urges. It's instinctually built in. Scorpio is a feminine sign, an internally focused sign, an introspective sign. So Scorpios are not expressive with their actions on a day-to-day basis like Aries, a masculine sign. Scorpios are more lost in their head but spring into action in response. But this spring into action can also come from a natural curiosity, not just a reaction to an event. This can extend to relationships too. Although loyal with the right partner, this compulsiveness can become a problem if the Scorpio doesn't have control of themselves. Scorpio rules the genitals on the zodiac body, so they more than anyone will fuck about, in more ways than one. It's kind of necessary for them to fool around. However, Scorpio means to be daring for their own discovery, but that their stinger is forever out. Through their daring side, Scorpios can sting many people indirectly and accidentally, especially those Scorpio has control over, because they will be made to follow the Scorpion into that cave with them. So your typical Scorpio may have some sort of traumatic experiences from young, unfortunately. It's the start of their growth, but will also be a dark secret they carry with them for the rest of their life that others may never know about. That dark aura, those dark piercing eyes, will be what is showing you they have some dark stuff hidden, or are capable of some dark things, or have seen some dark things. The eyes are the windows to the soul. So Scorpios will be one of the easiest signs to spot in public. If not from their aura, which will feel quite heavy if you're the sensing feelings type, and if not from maybe dressing in black, as that's their colour, then it will be from locking eyes with a Scorpio who has hidden trauma. You'll feel their energy going into your eyes. I mean, I'm speaking as a Pisces, so maybe your experience may differ with the absorbing energy, but you'll definitely get a feeling from their eyes alone. Death being associated with Scorpio more often means personal death of a former version of themselves. But many paths can be crossed where they channel that death your way, this cycle round, where you become a dare to them and something to destroy. The more trauma Scorpio experiences, the more deaths they experience, the more likely it is for Scorpio to put on that Grim Reaper cloak. Either way, every now and then, something's gotta die with Scorpio. From a change in routine to someone fucking with them. Scorpios are not necessarily born in the dark, but what they experience from young, being led into the dark, enables them to adapt to darkness as they go through phases of shedding their snakeskin. Moody. Scorpio naturally deals with the darkest feelings in the zodiac. More bad feelings than good. With maturity, this changes, but as they go through the phases, dark feelings is what Scorpio will be used to. From an astrological standpoint, Taurus, the sign opposite Scorpio, is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, with the moon, which governs your mind, feelings and experiences, exalted in Taurus, meaning it's powerful and loves Taurus, blesses Taurus even to the extent of growing up in a positive environment via the moon in Taurus. It increases the likelihood. So Scorpio gets the reverse of this in the sign itself, regardless of their placements, or they at least will feel the reverse of this. And that means they can feel no love or not feel loved and have a troubled mind, bad feelings and bad experiences. Now, of course, that's a generalization, as other things in one's chart can counter this. But one thing a Scorpio will deal with one way or another is dark feelings, dark experiences. Scorpio's the second water sign, after Cancer. Scorpios are in the ocean of emotions, but they aren't swimming freely like Pisces or chilling in the shallow end like Cancers, who is ruled by the moon. Scorpios are way at the bottom of the ocean in darkness, lost, stuck. Scorpio faces a battle of finding the light. This is why Scorpios are diggers and investigators. They're lost looking for answers but have the precision of Pluto and the drive of Mars to find whatever they're looking for. They're in the dark but have the tools to find the light. Many will speak about the Phoenix version of Scorpio, which is the most evolved, the most spiritually enlightened version, but it takes a lot of work for Scorpios to reach that stage. A lot of willpower, a lot of deaths, a lot of harsh experiences. When you deal with all these bad feelings and having a daring side when it comes to darkness, that's where you'll find many Scorpios, still in the dark, looking for the light. That Phoenix Scorpio is not Scorpios you come across day to day, very often. They're a special kind. A problem here with others is, even with all these bad feelings, the Scorpios that evolve but are still at the bottom of the ocean can adapt a very happy, playful, exertive type personality, where the darkness is hidden. It will still show in their eyes, but in their actions, they can fool you with good vibes, if you're not a vibe reader person. But this is where you can meet the Dracula in Scorpio, because they can be looking for a light in someone. Not the actual light, because it kills them if they're up to no good. So if you get mesmerized, then follow the Scorpio back to the bottom of the ocean, aka their real world, that's when you realize the danger you are in and who they actually are. It's happy and good vibes in public, but when personal, it's deep, dark and can be very dangerous for you, and the only way you will end up down there in the first place is if you have a light. Meaning, you're more than likely a good person. You're not even operating like that. Scorpios don't care for others' darkness. They're seeking light for themselves. Out of the 3 water signs, Scorpios are the most out of control of their feelings. They're just good at acting calm and unfazed. But when it comes to Scorpios isolating alone, they struggle the most. Scorpios are the 3rd fixed sign. The fixed signs are like solidified in their element, so to speak. That's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius. So with water emotions, feelings, Scorpios can be stuck in the ocean. Cancers start the mood. Scorpio are in the mood. Pisces can adapt to or change the mood. So the flexibility with Scorpio is not there. That someone in their feelings is Scorpio, but it looks like Cancer because they're emotionally expressive, and Pisces because they're like Cancer when immature, but are truly like how Scorpio acts when matured. So on the dark side with Scorpio, this is someone stuck with dark feelings until they find the light. And sometimes that light is another person's light, and you both can't shine the same light. So do the maths. When we talk intuition and radars and things like that, Scorpio's senses are live and kicking, but that there is a disconnect with feelings. Scorpios can choose to neglect their feelings and warning signals. It's like sensing danger, but being able to immediately switch it off to dig. Again, very dangerous for Scorpios as they might actually be playing with death. Close to death. But also, when it comes to others, a Scorpio can neglect their feelings and use their tools to start digging into yours. Scorpio is a feeler sign that likes to operate as an intellectual sign, more logical. People say Scorpios are like fire signs. They're not. They confuse Mars for being a hot planet and the connection to Aries and not realizing Mars is cold. It's Aries that is hot. It's Venus that is the real fire planet. Have Scorpio got that rage of Mars? Of course. But if Scorpio was to be another element than water, then it will be Earth. But naturally, Scorpios are literally the most emotional water sign from being the least in touch with their emotions, that instead chooses to apply logic as a workaround, which can eventually end in Scorpio getting stuck again because they haven't addressed their dark feelings no matter how much logic can be applied. Capricorn deals with the disconnect of feelings a lot more easier because they're an earth sign, not a water sign. All this darkness can literally paralyze a Scorpio temporarily or forever. We're talking literally drowning in the ocean, drowning their sorrows. Scorpios can hide out and isolate the same way Pisces can, especially if they've been stung. That's why those two signs gravitate to each other. Believe it or not, all that escapism talk thrown on Pisces with like being addicts etc. can equally get thrown on Scorpio, cause they do the same shit. There's tons of Scorpio Brittany Murphys out there. Pisces finds comfort with Scorpio and Scorpio feels understood and seen by Pisces in the ocean. The only difference is Pisces is flexible, but Pisces and Scorpio can go deep. You can't go deeper into the psyche than those two signs. Cancer's not so much because if Cancer doesn't feel it, they'll dismiss it or just listen to see if they can relate. Scorpio and Pisces will feel each other out to see where the other's coming from, whether they relate or not. That's on the light side, I must say. So when you're close and can relate to Scorpio, you'll be witnessing mood swings galore, extreme irritability, frustration, tears when they're struggling to grasp something. Only those close to Scorpios will see these sides. You can pick it up even if they're quiet. Cancers has a way of bringing the whole mood down if they're going through some shit. But Scorpios can create a feeling as if the ground has sunken, and anyone around them will feel sunken with them. They can open a black hole in the ground. But if they don't stay isolating whilst feeling like this, then they can come back out and dish darkness out like burnt food at a cookout. The sad thing about feelings and Scorpio is they forever stay cautious even when evolved. They can feel scared to feel certain emotions again. Like say they were cheated on before and healed. They can remain scorned even when healed, which leaves them stuck because they won't want to explore maybe another relationship, which could actually be a blessing for them, but avoid it in case they meet that feeling again. That's a secret of Scorpio. Deep down, they're scared and brave at the same time. Deep down in the ocean alone and in their soul, fear is in there, and that's what they project onto others when dark-sided. Fear. I've got many music examples of Scorpio, but one off the top of my head where you can literally get a sense of Scorpio energy is called Unlike Me by Kate Havanovic. She's a Scorpio. If there's one thing a Scorpio will be scared of, is feelings. And that's all in the ocean where they are. And they can be scared of what they may become if they feel a feeling again that they've already struggled overcoming. Obsessive and Possessive. Scorpio is the I desire sign. They are passionate from Mars's rulership and penetrative through Pluto's rulership. Scorpio is like Scorpion with their desires. Get over here! With Scorpio ruling the genitals on the zodiac body, what you get is the most sexual sign. Now, from an astrological standpoint, again, Taurus, the sign opposite, is ruled by Venus, the planet of desires. Venusian signs are ruled by their desires. Scorpio isn't. Scorpio takes control of their desires and goes after what they want, basically. Now, where things like love and relationships can mess people up with Scorpio is, a Scorpio can fuck you like they love you when it's only cause they desire you. This right here, sex, can be a form of control from a Scorpio, cause if you've not got the willpower to leave, as that's what you're dealing with when up against a Scorpio, willpower and sexiness, if you can't muster up that power, then you're just gonna be used for their desires. Scorpios are freaks like Adina Howard. Until the dawn. You think Bill Gates has got a micro and is soft? Nah, he'll be putting his partner through the mattress after long days of coding. You think you and your Scorpios booed up like LMA? Then after one argument, they're in the club stuck to another's hip without sellotape, dicking everyone down like Drake. The women can be so freaky, they're not even lesbian, and still might try out a scissor. I won't use the word loving to describe a Scorpio. A Scorpio that loves you is kind of similar to Virgo in where they'll be of service to you. You will know a Scorpio loves you through what they do, but you can easily confuse their desire for you for love. Scorpios don't even know what love is, at least initially. With Scorpios, you are dealing with obsession and possession, first and foremost. That's infatuation and selfishness that can feel like love to the receiver. Scorpio gets into your head, your mind. They fuck your mind, cause their mind's fucked up. Cancer fucks with your feelings. Scorpio fucks with your thoughts. Pisces fucks with both. You can get over some hurt feelings. Time itself can handle that. But from your head's fucked up, not even time or therapy can heal that shit. And this is why Scorpio can be lethal. Again, for you to even be close to a Scorpio, you have to have a light. Unless they are the most evolved spiritual state of Scorpio, you will be one of their lights to their darkness. Taurus has a similar thing with people, where Taurus can see people as one of their materials, but Scorpio is more soul focused. It's more about what you've spiritually got, if they like you. If not, it will be about what you've materially got. And that's when Scorpio can really be about other people's possessions, at lower vibrations, or smart logical vibrations. So anyway, your light has attracted them, and although not afraid of the dark, Scorpio is looking for the light. So this is where Scorpio will get possessive of you so they can control your light, which is for their darkness. I don't really like to use the word selfish a lot, cause we're all selfish in one way or another. But Scorpios can be spiritually selfish. So your light can be a part of their lesson. They'll be using your light in the dark so they can study. With Scorpio being about their desires, you're not gonna realize how much control they have over you until you start rebelling. When you start wanting to wander off with your light and maybe share it with others, which could just be chilling with your friends, that's when you're gonna notice your light is literally in their hands. And this is where others can end up as emotionally lost as Scorpio, where you're now in the dark wondering where your light's gone. On the dark side, this is where Scorpios can get very manipulative and violent. We're talking like Ike Turner, abusive like no other, when it's gone from a desire to fuck you to now a desire to control you, where no love is involved in it whatsoever. This is male and female I'm talking. Scorpio women will swing on you if you're repelling their control. Don't be fooled because they can be sexy as hell like Nia Long. They will swing on you. An example of this is a documentary on Netflix about a Pisces girl called Gabby Petito and her Scorpio boyfriend Brian Laundrie. An interesting but sad watch. That CCTV footage of Diddy kicking Cassie like a beach ball isn't no one-off with how violent they can be in relationships. Scorpios can be very cunning, and if you're not clocking all their motives, by the time you do, you're so broken and defeated, you don't even try to fight back. You never knew they transformed you, and now you're gonna allow them to have full control over you so they can transform you some more. Scorpios destroy things including versions of themselves. So they most definitely can and will destroy you if needs be. There's overlap with all the water signs when it comes to possessiveness and obsession. They all can emotionally and mentally f people up. Pisces has got the worst reputation for this, especially the men. But the difference is, you get left like that with Pisces. Scorpio and Cancer can mess you up and still keep you around. But when a Scorpio has got your light, the only way you're leaving that situation is, you're gonna have to be daring like the Scorpio and literally prepared to die. Like, you can't just run away. You'll have to be prepared to stick a stake through that vampire's heart if they catch you. When a Scorpio's obsessed with you, they don't want to harm you. They want to keep you under control. They care about your light. They don't want it to blow. But when push comes to shove and you threaten them with darkness, from violence to leaving, yeah, you can easily meet darkness with Scorpio. You can end up trapped in that underground cage Joe in you has. If a Scorpio approaches you like, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Be wary, because they're using that fucking great song to encourage feel-good emotions. No, but seriously, if you're at the bottom of the ocean with a good Scorpio who loves you and doesn't even touch your light, then count your blessings. There'll still be control there, but it will benefit you if they actually love you. But again, count your blessings, because many right now are trapped and can't even speak out in fear of their light permanently being taken away. Vengeful. Cunning. With all that's been said so far, it's not hard to see why Scorpio will be known as the most vengeful sign. There's naturally a lot of darkness going on, so being in a position to seek revenge will not be foreign to their journey. For like the most perfect viewing of what a Scorpio's revenge looks like, look up Gary Plauché. Just look him up and watch what he did and why he did it. Now, revenge is all about feelings, but with Scorpio it's more to do with control. The action of taking revenge brings a sense of control for Scorpio because they don't have control of their feelings. Again, this is a fixed water sign. This is a sign that gets stuck in their feelings. So often a Scorpio can feel stuck. For them to be free from this stuck position, they must take revenge on you if you're the reason they're stuck. It's like the game Stuck in the Mud. It's the scorpion or snake that crawls through that Scorpio's legs, freeing them, not others. And now they're gonna tag you with their stinger so that you're stuck, where they can deal with you as they please. The problem with Scorpio's revenge is, it's not instant. It happens over time, through calculation. So while this over time is taking place, Scorpio can be feeling the pain whilst they wait. It's like holding a grudge. That grudge you're holding affects you more than the person you're grudging. This is another form of Scorpio stinging itself with its own stinger. Cancer's revenge is more quick. It's more petty or in the moment violence. Or they can drag the revenge out for a long time, doing little petty things along the way. But the point is, they're doing something about it. They're cardinal. They get things moving. Pisces' revenge is more extreme. It's more adapting to the mode of revenge and acting accordingly. It can be instant or it can happen years later. But Pisces don't hold on to it. They revisit it. So Pisces can act whenever, without the baggage. Scorpio has a lot more balancing to do. They need to get their thoughts and feelings stable. It's like lining up a shot. But once they line it up, could be the next day, could be in a year's time. When you think Scorpio, think sharp, on point. So once they line it up, darkness will become your friend. Scorpios are like snipers when it comes to picking off their enemies. Now what you may find is Scorpio speaking as if they're Pisces like. I'm just here for everybody, I don't trouble anybody, and people always want to start with me. But as I've said before, Scorpios have a way of accidentally stinging people. Because that stinger is out. Could be through a joke, could be through asking a question that touches a nerve. It's the matured Scorpios who doesn't bother people. The younger growing ones start shit up purposely and or accidentally. It's similar to Gemini, But Scorpio might not mean it as much as they do it. And as much as Scorpios can be soul peering others, they're kind of selfish when it comes to feelings. Like, they don't sit around and deep how things they done could have affected someone. They may not even know they offended someone. It's externals that will have to point this out to Scorpios. So when that person takes a jab back, the Scorpio can think this person has attacked them for nothing. So the Scorpio goes and jabs back, thinking it's the first time they've stung the person, not realizing it's actually the second time. The Scorpio's just given them a Javonte Davis two-piece, knocking that person out cold, where the Scorpio thinks they've just jabbed them back. It's that fixed mindset where on the negative side, it's not seeing another's point of view, and not caring in some cases. But other than that, if you meant to offend a Scorpio and try boss up on them, or control them or hurt them, you're not gonna know what hits you when it does. The thing is, you can know a Scorpio is coming back for you. You can sense it. You may even get foretelling dreams, but none of it matters because you don't know when they are going to sting you. And these stings aren't just little warning pricks. They are deadly blows. It penetrates through your skin and hits you in your soul. It doesn't matter who it is. Once they line up that shot, once they fixate on you, once they desire to penetrate you, non-sexually. Hell, it might even be sexually too. But once they line it up, they're gonna press it. You're gonna be a dare for them, and then become another death that they witness. With Cancer, it's more personal than principle. With Pisces, it's more principle than personal. With Scorpio, it's like extremely personal. Like Scorpios really deep things. So deep that they themselves can make it more personal than it is. It's not really principle with Scorpio. It's more like, do you know who you're fucking with type of thing. Like, regardless of the situation, do you know who you're fucking with? Because they aren't looking at another's point of view. Their point of view will be, I'm gonna sting you. You don't want any water sign on you. It's the obsessive nature they all can have that can be a problem. Even if they're not about that life. It's the ocean. It's forever changing. But even if a Scorpio accidentally stung you first, this isn't a war. Scorpios don't do wars. They do strategic executions. Scorpio is not who you see on the battlefield. Scorpio's who's waiting in the bush with a sniper to pick you off from afar, or a blade for anyone who comes close thinking they've escaped the field. That's where you meet the Vlad the Impaler. You ain't gonna be bumping into a Scorpio and fighting them each time like an Aries. Scorpio's not loud and in your face. If they are, then yes, it's easy for the opponent. But typically, Scorpio is a silent and that's it. Last thing you see is someone jogging off in a trench coat as you lie there in the rain. If not, and they're the spiritual type, all they have to do is start cursing your name, focusing that negative energy onto you and putting it out there in the universe. End result for you is pain. And lots of it. Suspicious. Paranoid. A question that can pop up with Scorpio is, do they have strong intuition or are they just paranoid? Scorpios are some of the most superstitious people you can come across, where it's like everything is a sign. Cancers can be deep into superstition too, where they recognize patterns. Cancers are probably the best at pattern recognition. But from all the daring and the dark feelings, Scorpio can end up very suspicious. Scorpio's intuition is naturally very strong, very pinpointy, because they're in the dark, so it's like they have heightened senses. Taurus is about your senses, sensual touch. Scorpios have heightened sensitivity to things not in the light, from a strong sense of smell to feeling like a spirit is next to them. So when in touch with their natural intuition, they're on point. Hillary Clinton would have sensed Bill Clinton letting his white out in the White House down someone else's throat. But as mentioned earlier, Scorpio can end up turning off their radar, escaping the feeling of not feeling in control and get more logical. So this is where suspicion comes in, because now it's more guessing and detecting which they become strong at. So you can see why the ones who do go on to elevate, finding their own light, with their radar switched on, is highly intuitive. Because it's like two forms of intuition. It's a logical one and a feeling one. But the muddiness is in the journey with Scorpio. It's what happens on the way to mastering their senses. It's like coming out of the swamp. It can bring about extreme paranoia, zero trust, and accusations galore, lots of manipulation, where they can get a random hunch, then fixate on it when it may be nothing. A Scorpio can get this random feeling like you're cheating, then be demanding to see your phone. A Scorpio can be in a mood because they had a dream you was being unfaithful and now want you to prove you haven't. But that's not even where it's the worst. So a Scorpio can do that, show you they're suspicious, but then use this suspicious nature at times when they just want control, where you just see it as they're paranoid, so you'll give in to them, to settle them. Example, say a Scorpio's gone through your phone before, seen some shit, you had an argument, came to an understanding and since moved on. Say that's a year ago. Well, first off, the Scorpio's not gonna trust you anyway. They probably didn't in the first place, but they definitely don't now. But say it's been a year and the Scorpio just thinks to themselves, I haven't checked their phone in a while. I wonder what they're up to. So the Scorpio can then trauma dump on you, crying, just to check your phone out of a simple suspicion from the last time. When really, they aren't emotional about nothing at all. They just want to see if you're fucking around. This is Scorpio males and females that can be this way, because Scorpio is a feminine sign. And going back to the light analogy, because they may have your light in hand, they can stay in toxic relationships because they're the toxic one. So breaking up won't make no difference. They're still toxic, so might as well have someone to share that venom with. I don't even think it's possible for a Scorpio to 100% trust anyone. Therefore, they can't 100% love someone. But here's the kicker. While the Scorpio's doing all of that, they can actually be cheating on you. But that the focus is on you cheating and their pain, you don't even suspect they're paranoid because they're doing what they're accusing you of doing. Hell, a toxic Scorpio can cheat on you just because they think you're cheating on them. Not feel, think. At the lowest vibration of Scorpio, you are dealing with a snake. A venomous snake who can turn on its own, even itself. It was even a Nazi Scorpio that tried assassinating Hitler, but failed. It was done for the greater good, but still it's a sneaky act. Scorpios at a low vibration is a venomous creature that rules the genitals. Where that sting you may feel is when you go pee, hot burning and oozing shit. My whole point is projection. The more suspicious a Scorpio is, the more suspicious you should be of them. They worry about being in a position of no control. Bad-tempered. Hard-headed. With Scorpios being ruled by the willful Mars and destructive Pluto, Scorpios are powerful and can be extremely violent. But if we put that to the side, Scorpio's temper comes from control itself. Its lack of control of their feelings. All the fixed signs can have control issues. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Scorpio's temper more times comes from a miscommunication or understanding. From you to them or them to you. Remember, this is a sign that's in the dark, so to speak. It's not even in a negative light. There's no light initially. So if a negative light is shone on them from you not understanding them, then it's gonna infuriate a Scorpio. Not all Scorpios have evil intentions, obviously. Not all Scorpios are even dark. But that rage, which is more frustration, is there. And just like their lack of control of their own feelings, if you trigger their anger, which is a feeling, it will shoot out of them. Scorpio is a Pisces with less self-control when it comes to emotions. So this is why they'll exhibit the darker side of the ocean more often. When their head's hot and blood is boiling, Scorpios don't have the capacity to even consider the consequences of their actions in that moment. This is even worse in Cancerians. Scorpios in their feelings don't have the foresight. This is why the sign of foresight is after Scorpio in Sagittarius. They look ahead after this recklessness, but can still be reckless obviously. Scorpio is in the now, stuck in feelings, so it does not take much to get their blood boiling. But misunderstandings is usually what triggers it. The fire side of Scorpio is the water element getting heated up. All the water signs have anger issues. So this again is where people can compare Scorpio to fire signs. But that's only like what they'll feel on the inside. If you witness it in reality, it's more like a cold darkness with like fire on the tip of the scorpion stinger. It's not raw like Leo. It's like death stare followed by penetration. Scorpios can be the villains, but they're the villains with a sad origin story. Naturally, they won't like being the bad person. They won't like having a negative light shone on them. They won't be proud of it, naturally. But if their actions leads them into becoming the villain, then they can own it and make out like it's perfect. When a Scorpio is owning their anger, owning their stinger, owning their toxicity, then just leave them be. Cause they can find light in darkness that way. And unless you're on what they're on, then part ways. But also, Scorpios don't even have to be mad to be hard-headed. Scorpio is a sign that needs to feel before they learn. You can be telling a Scorpio all day, don't do this cause of that. The next day they're telling you they fucked around and found out and should have listened. If they even admit they went and did it. Again, I'm speaking as a Pisces to a Scorpio. Maybe these words are foreign to others, but there's a level of deepness Scorpio will only share with water signs, especially Pisces. Pisces sees it. So Scorpios clock their darkness don't scare Pisces, so they feel they can open up. Maybe not on everything, as you'd expect Scorpio to keep at least a couple deep secrets to themselves, but in general, they need someone to talk to on a deep level. When they don't have that outlet, and then get misunderstood, and being backed by two destructive planets, you can imagine the results. Scorpio would rather be social. This is a sign in between Libra and Sagittarius, who both can be people-loving, party-loving signs. Scorpios from young can end up hating people, or at least mistrusting people, because they sense others aren't as deep as them, so they become more quiet and withdrawn. So if when they do start communicating, and they get misunderstood, it's an overall frustration, it's regrets, it's why did I even open up to this person, etc. Then it's followed by self-destruction or shedding of that skin. And the newer version of that Scorpio will be, I'm gonna be more antisocial than ever, and anyone even looks at me wrong is not gonna have the choice to misunderstand me. I'll show them what's up. Or it's wallowing in the pits feeling like outcasts and not worthy of love. Scorpios who grow up with that understanding, that freedom to talk and relate on a deeper level will always have that rage there inside, but these are the ones who genuinely can be the life of the party types. Not P. Diddy life of the party, but just real good vibes. They found their light and are now shining it on others, where everyone's shiny, without baby oil. Out of the three water signs, I think it's almost essential Scorpios have another water sign around. There's two sides to every sign, but Scorpio in terms of understandings has it the hardest, because they actually want to be heard and seen. And this again goes back to the moon at its weakest power in Scorpio. Not literally weak, but in a place it hates. If it loves to be in Taurus, it hates to be in Scorpio. The same with Venus. So all that uncomfortability brings you the hot-headed Scorpio full of rage. And on the other end of the scale, love and feelings is Scorpio's kryptonite. The same with Aries and Virgo. Love can stop these signs in their tracks, no matter how much power they can generate. In the absence of love and feelings from them to you or you to them, sad stories will be written in multiple ways. Jealousy. Envy. Most of Pisces and Scorpio's dark traits I attribute to Cancer, because water sign wise, Cancers are the most immature with the energy, the youngest out of the three. If we're talking like a child with many emotions, we're talking Cancer ruled by the moon, the moon child. Scorpio and Pisces are older in that sense. So I'd naturally say Cancer is the most jealous sign of the water signs because they're more about their own feelings. Now when we talk Scorpio, that there's a disconnect with their own feelings, this can lead them to prying into others. Scorpio sets their eyes on other people, so if there's a sign that can really have the evil eye, it's Scorpio and Libra. Now yes, this can include others' materials, but that's the last step. What Scorpio can start off being jealous about is another's life experience. Let's say it's a school play and Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces have the main roles. All three are standing on stage looking in the crowd. Cancer sees their mum and their mum's standing up waving, "That's my baby, that's my baby." Cancer feels great. Pisces sees a woman waving, so it's like, "There's my mummy." But then thinks, "No, wait, my mum's hair ain't red." Then looks around and spots their actual mum, "Yay, mummy hair." Now Scorpio is looking around, looking in the crowd at all these faces and can't see their mum. Cancer's mum's still shouting, Pisces is standing there happy, ready to perform. And Scorpio is looking around and then looks at Pisces and Cancer happy with the sad feelings they have inside. So from this it breeds jealousy. But Scorpio's mum could be in the crowd, but they just haven't seen them yet. And maybe the mum's a bit more reserved, so isn't jumping up to make themselves seen. So Scorpio thinks they aren't there. So it's that feeling Scorpios carry and then noticing others who isn't going through the same thing. That's where it starts. Scorpio doesn't know Cancer's mum's so clingy the child can't breathe at home. They don't know that's not even Pisces' biological mum. Their real mum passed at birth. You know, like, they don't deep others initially. They perceive others like Virgo and see it as others have got it better than them, then jealousy enters. Again, we're talking misunderstandings. So if they grow this way, where they're always looking at what others have got, who is the sign of possessions in the zodiac? Taurus, their opposite sign. So that's what they start looking at and wanting it for themselves. You can't steal someone's childhood or upbringing or experiences. It's in the past, like Cancer. But you can still want what people have in the present. And that's when the dark side of Scorpio can really start talking. Scorpio's originally from the 8th house of other people's possessions. Scorpio can have jealousy issues with every sign for whatever reason. This jealousy or envy breeds an extremely driven person in Scorpio. And one key thing Scorpios gains, specifically from fucking around with Capricorn and Pisces, is Scorpios gets to learn about karma. Capricorn is the master of karma, ruled solely by the planet of karma, Saturn. And Pisces is the sign of true love and karma itself, the mirror to the whole zodiac. Scorpios don't know about love and karma initially. Cancers do, because Saturn's opposite them in Capricorn. So Cancers try cheat karma by doing good to receive it and realize it don't work like that, then get resentful. Scorpios learn by fucking with karmic signs or doing madness in general, then receiving karma and heartbreak, then learning how it works. And this is another way Scorpios reach the Phoenix, because karma and being spiritual is all about letting go and leaving things to a higher power. And most importantly, love. You cannot be at no highest vibration of nothing without selfless love for another. Scorpios go from war to peace this way, which is why they can reach light Pisces type levels of spirituality. Speaking in terms of if Pisces is the most spiritual at the end. Scorpios can get to that same level early. So all these ways is how Scorpio has so many growths even through bad experiences. But with jealousy, they get active with it, while others will notice. Like a Scorpio won't just hate someone or something. They'll want to match it. If they don't steal in some way, they'll want to match it and do better for themselves. They'll want to create a newer version of their self that can be good as what another's good at. Use it as motivation. So you see how they can start off in dark like jealousy, for example, and then come out in the light, skilled from it. Scorpios will be driven to do something big about it. When it's something negative, yeah, Scorpio can steal anything from you, including your life. Jealous, obsessive, possessive, especially in relationships, but they never get away with it. Private. Scorpio is one of, if not the most private sign. They will be secretive too, but privacy means much to Scorpios. If they don't have control of anything else in this world, the main thing they can control is their privacy. So Scorpios are not easy to get to know. People that are too friendly can alarm a Scorpio, like, why are you so friendly? Scorpio can be good liars, but same time, they don't really need to be, because their standoffish nature can make people cautious of asking them any questions in the first place. So like Virgos, Scorpios are more perceptive and quiet in a typical sense. Just cool observing. This is why Scorpios make great private detectives. Things that involves uncovering truths, remaining low and potentially dealing with darkness. And great behind the scene workers too, like Kris Jenner with the Kardashians, and Joseph Goebbels who helped Taurian Adolf Hitler choreograph his speeches. So you may never really know a Scorpio, even if you work together a lot or see them all the time. This isn't about deception, it's just about their control. Now if you're in with a Scorpio, you will know they sing like the sirens. Jokey, charismatic, fun. Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, being a Scorpio wouldn't surprise you. But then, if you're around people Scorpio don't fuck with, or know like that, they will stay in private mode. Cancers are similar. All the water signs are prone to shyness and awkwardness, but there's nothing more annoying than exposure for Scorpio. Someone opening the door on their privacy. This all goes back to things like betrayal and trust issues. The more they go through earlier in life, the more private they are in later ages. But when Scorpios are being private, whilst being lonely, you get entanglement in darkness. The key is when Scorpios get creative in their private times. That's when light can be found too, on their own. Same way Taurus can speak to the soul, ruling the throat. If a Scorpio can sing, they're gonna be hitting notes in a way it's felt in your core, like deep in your soul. Even if what they create is dark, light gets shone on the darkness and it can set a Scorpio free. You know who shows the scorpionic mind through their art? Pablo Picasso. All that creative, dark, mangled shit. But Scorpios can also be creating actual monsters in privacy, like Victor Frankenstein creating that monster. That's where Aquarius and Scorpios relate, because Aquarius can be alone creating something to leave here, while Scorpio can be creating something to directly wreak havoc here. It's the fucked up mind from the fucked up feelings on the dark side. Scorpio can be in private doing some unspeakable things to many weaker people too. We're talking people like P. Diddy, hurt people, abused people, abuse people. We're talking Jimmy Savile. Not sure how aware Americans will be of Jimmy Savile, but look him up. The sick fuck. Patterns don't lie. Look at the rumours that were surrounding Bill Gates and population control around COVID times. Look how Danny DeVito treated poor Matilda. No, but on a serious note, like, look at the speculated reputation Hillary Clinton has behind closed doors involving Fifth House Leo stuff. You know what I'm saying. I saw one clip where Demi Moore was kissing one too. We're talking vampires sucking blood, Count Dracula type stuff here. We're talking Belle Gunness, who took out up to 40 men here. We're talking Charles Manson getting everyone high, then fucking with their minds and sending them out to hunt. Even if they come out as movie stars, musicians, artists, whatever, their privacy never leaves them. Powerful actors, powerful musicians, powerful artists, etc., but still private. Scorpios aren't here to merge with the collective. They're here to spiritually align with themselves through transformations. So you can't force a Scorpio to be open, to get to know people, to share with people. That has to come from within. They will have to open that door themselves. If you come around and open that door yourself, then expect them monsters you unknowingly release to eat you. Expect the mother of dragons to say, Dracarys, as they close the door while you burn. Some Scorpios just need a hug, Others, you leave them and their privacy the fuck alone. Unless they're doing some fuck shit, then open that door wide, then run. You may think, who's this Pisces talking about my sign? Hey, it's just some things I've noticed. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Otherwise, shut your ass up, put your seatbelts back on, and make sure the aisle was clear. We'll be arriving at our destination shortly.